Hey everybody out there on YouTube and on Facebook, Max here with another edition of the XX Vlogs of Max, number 26. And yeah, I figured I'd do another edition of the XX Vlogs of Max to talk about Wednesday's semifinals round 1 results and what I thought of what I thought of the eliminations. Basically go through the different eliminations and share my thoughts with you on them, and also share my thoughts on the what I thought of who won each elimination, what I thought of who lost, what I thought of who lost each elimination, and basically stuff like that. Share my thoughts on each elimination, and talk about some other stuff that happened recently with me afterwards. So yeah, just thought I'd give my thoughts on the eliminations. And 3 of my picks got through, which I'm really happy about. One of my main picks didn't get through, and I'll get to that when I get to that point. But yeah, so I guess with that I will go to my thoughts on the eliminations. First off, I figured it is elimination number 1, and this elimination was basically between the Sando Trio Russian Bar, Zuma Zuma, Matt Wilhelm, and Team Illuminate. And basically, this was pretty much an easy elimination when you think about it, because the only act in that category that was even worthy of moving on was Team Illuminate, to be honest, because their act, out of those 4 acts in the first elimination, Team Illuminate was the best one. They did an amazing act. I like their whole Illuma game concept for their act, and I can't wait to see what they do next in the finals. So congrats to Team Illuminate. They were of course one of my picks to make it through, so I'm happy that they made it through. The only other team that did close to as good as Team Illuminate was Zuma Zuma, but even they didn't do as good as Team Illuminate. So yeah, happy that Team Illuminate got through. As you can imagine, that was great news because they were one of my picks. Happy they got through. And I think America made the right choice with that elimination. Now, I'll of course, sorry about that, move on to elimination number 2, which was of course between Pop Life and Liz Agnes, or I've always seemed to have trouble pronouncing that name. I don't know why, and I apologize to Miss Agnes for mispronouncing her name. And basically, for those of you who watch the show will know that Pop Life is this really amazing band of about 4 or 5 guys, or I think it's 4 guys, and their lead singer's this girl. I can't remember her name, but she has like a great sense of style. Every time they perform, she always wears these amazing outfits and if I can honestly say, if she does choose her own outfits, that girl's got an amazing sense of fashion, and that in itself should be commended. And then of course you got Liz Agnes, the opera singer, who also is an amazing singer, and no matter how far she gets in the competition, you know she's going to make it big one day. And basically in elimination number 2, surprise surprise, we had both of them go through. Both Pop Life and Liz Agnes made it through to the next round of AGT, to the finals as it were. And I was happy because of course another pick of mine got through, that being Pop Life. I'm really happy. I can't wait to see what song they do next. They've been doing really great every performance. They really stepped it up on Tuesday night with their Beatles song performance. And I can't wait to see what they do next, and I can't wait to see what Lise Agnes does next. Hoping she does a really good song for her next opera song. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And of course, elimination number 3. Now, this was an elimination I had mixed feelings about. And basically the reason I had mixed feelings about is because one of my picks in particular lost this elimination, and I was really hoping that she would have made it onto the finals because she's really talented and she's really funny and all this stuff and all that stuff. But anyway, the next one, elimination number 3, was between Melissa Villaseñor, the Miami All-Stars, and of course Kevin Colas. And basically Miami All-Stars won this. Now don't get me wrong, I kind of have a like-hate thing with this result. I mean, I like it on the one hand because Miami All-Stars do deserve to be in the finals. They do these amazing dance acts. Every time they do one of their acts, they always do like an amazing dance routine for every act, and it's always a different style of dance that they do for every performance, and it's always great to watch and entertaining to watch. So they do deserve to make it on to the finals, but I was sad that Melissa Villaseñor wasn't moving on to the finals, mainly because I'm a huge fan of Melissa Villaseñor, as many of you who watch my vlogs will know. I've talked about her in numerous vlogs, probably about at least 4 or 5 vlogs I've mentioned her. And I was a huge supporter of hers. I was really hoping that she'd make it to the finals. Even if she didn't win AGT in the end, it would have been great to see her in the finals. And yeah, so I was disappointed that she got eliminated. But I gotta say, Melissa Villaseñor, if you're watching this, never give up, girl, because you are talented. You got what it takes to be a big star one day, and as far as I'm concerned, you're already a star. I mean, one of these days, you're going to have your own headline act, you're going to have your own show, whether it's in Vegas or no matter what it is, and then you won't have to work in that department store anymore because you'll be a big name comedian like Larry the Cable Guy or Jeff Foxworthy and stuff like that. Your impressions never cease to amaze me. I think you're hilarious, and next to Larry the Cable Guy, you're one of my top 2 favorite comedians. And I'll always be a fan of yours, Melissa V, so never give up on what you do. You're amazing at what you do, and that's basically my advice to you, Melissa V, is never, I don't know if you'll see this, you might, because I might post it on your page, and the hopes that you might end up watching it when you have the chance. But basically, you are amazing at what you do, regardless of what anyone says to the contrary, and you should never give up, because you're a star. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You are a bona fide star, girl. And don't ever let anyone get you down and tell you differently. So it's sad that Melissa Villaseñor is no longer in the show, as I said before. Not sure who's going to be my all-time favorite in the show. Like, basically by all-time favorite I mean like the one act on the show that I want to win more than any other act. Although I haven't really decided about that, and I won't really be making my decision on that until the end of next week's episode of AGT, semi-finals round 2 as it were. The second round of the semi-finals. And I'm kind of leaning towards Pop Life because I would really like. They are an amazing act. They're definitely in my all-time favorites when it comes to AGT. I've loved Pop Life ever since I see the first performance they had on AGT. I always love watching them perform live. Huge fan of theirs. I know my fellow YouTube vlogger, Alex of the BA vlogs is a huge fan of theirs too. In fact, they inspire her, which I think is awesome that the Pop Life inspires Alex, because they are an inspiring band and they always do great at all the performances. So Pop Life may be the one I choose to be like my new all-time favorite now that Melissa Villaseñor is no longer on the show. And if that's the case, they'll be the one that I'm hoping to win the whole show. But at the same time, I can honestly say I'm not really sure. Like, I'm gonna have to wait until after next week's episode's over to really make my final decision on like who's gonna be my all-time favorite, basically, and basically by that I mean who's gonna be the one I'm gonna be rooting for to win the whole competition. But once I see next week's show and how the acts do on that, I'll be able to make my final decision. I am leaning mainly towards Pop Life at this point, but that decision of mine may change over time. And yeah, so who knows? And then of course we had the final elimination, which was between, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, sorry about that. Had elimination number 4, which was down to Daniel Joseph Baker, West Springfield Dance Team, and Beth Ann Robinson. All 3 of these acts are really good acts, and basically in elimination number 4, Beth Ann Robinson got eliminated, which didn't really surprise me because compared to Daniel Joseph Baker's act and the West Springfield Dance Team's act on Tuesday night, or last Tuesday night, her act wasn't as good as their acts was. And to be honest, Beth Ann Robinson's first audition was amazing, and her audition last Tuesday night on the semifinals round 1 auditions or performances wasn't all that great compared to her first performance. So I wasn't surprised that she was eliminated in elimination round 4. And of course, lo and behold, AGT has to go and put 2 of my favorites against each other, which basically meant that one of my favorites was going home and one of my favorites was moving on. Which is ironic, because Daniel Joseph Baker, until recently, he wasn't one of my favorites. And until recently, I could care less if he had made it on to the next round or not. But last night was elimination number 5 was kind of difficult for me to see 2 of my favorites going up against each other. My newfound favorite in Daniel Joseph Baker on the one hand, and then my group that's always been one of my favorites since I first seen them perform, with the West Springfield Dance Team. And of course, what ends up happening, both Howie and Pierce vote for West Springfield Dance Team, basically giving them the win, and basically means that they moved on to the finals over Daniel Joseph Baker, and Daniel Joseph Baker got eliminated. And honestly, I don't get why they both voted for West Springfield Dance Team. I mean, they are an amazing act, don't get me wrong. I do really like West Springfield Dance Team. That's one of the reasons they're my favorites. But to be honest, when it came down to the whole West Springfield Dance Team and Daniel Joseph Baker, I think it's obvious to see that Daniel Joseph Baker, or DJB as I like to call him, was the better act. That Daniel Joseph Baker had a much better performance. He really came out of his element in his last performance, and I thought it was one of his best performances. And performance-wise, Daniel Joseph Baker had the better performance over the West Springfield Dance Team. I know some of you out there will probably disagree with that, and if you do, feel free to comment and say that you disagree with that. because we all can't agree on everything, but I honestly think that Daniel Joseph Baker was the better act, and I think he should have made it through the finals. But that being said, I am glad that West Springfield dance team is making it through the finals, because they did have their best performance last Tuesday night, obviously. They did have their best performance last Tuesday night. Well, I thought it was their best performance, and yeah, would have been nice to see what Daniel Joseph Baker did next on America's Got Talent. But I guess we'll never know now that he's out of the competition, but I'm excited to see what West Springfield dance team does. So of course 3 of my picks got through: Team Illuminate, Pop Life, and of course the West Springfield dance team. And yeah, it's kind of a shame that Sharon didn't get to vote, but I guess it makes sense, because once an act gets 2 votes from the judges, it automatically gets through. It wouldn't have mattered if Sharon had voted for Daniel Joseph Baker, because 2 votes basically is more than 1. So West Springfield dance team would have gotten through anyway, even if Sharon had voted for Daniel Joseph Baker. But yeah, 3 out of 5 of my picks got through. Still sad to see you go, Melissa. Really want to see you on the finals of AGT, even if you didn't win it. But you got a big career ahead of you. You're going to be a big star someday. And watch out for Melissa Villasenor World, because I guarantee you this girl is going to be going places one day. And one day you're going to see the name Melissa Villasenor in those big lights all around the world, and people are going to be talking about her and saying how great she is, and she's going to be well known all around the world one of these days. You mark my words. That's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts on the eliminations. I'm looking forward to next week's semifinals round 2 of AGT. Looking forward to seeing Snap Boogie and Anna Graceman, who's an amazing 11-year-old singer. I mean, that girl truly is talented, just like Jackie Evanko was on last season. And I'm looking forward to seeing Professor Splash and some other acts. I'm not looking forward to seeing Kinetic King on next week's show. I'm actually hoping on next week's show he gets eliminated, because I'm honestly getting tired of seeing his acts. I don't find them that interesting or exciting to watch, as some people do. Still don't get why Pierce and Howie and all the judges love the guy, because he's not that great. His talent ain't that great, and it's not that interesting to watch, even though the judges make it out to be interesting to watch. But yeah, oh yeah, I almost forgot before I end my whole talk about the AGT result, the AGT semifinals round 1 results. I almost forgot to talk about what I thought about the acts that were on, what the acts besides the ones that were up for elimination. Those acts being, of course, Demi Lovato, and then, which she did an amazing performance. Always loved Demi Lovato. The girl's an amazing singer, and she's really inspiring, the way she battled drugs and was in rehab and stuff like that, and she didn't let that keep her down, and she bounced back from that. And Demi, you are a total inspiration to me, and I know to a lot of people out there. My good friend Liz, I know you're a pretty big inspiration to her. She's one of your biggest fans and supporters. She even made a Twitter page for you. Don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll be sure to ask her about it and have the link in the bottom of my page. And then of course we had, can't remember what the name of their group was, but this hip hop group, I can't remember what their name was, but they were okay. They weren't the greatest hip hop artists, but they were pretty okay. And then of course we have a group that many of you know from last season, or an act many of you know from last season, known as, of course, Mr. Prince Poppycock, which, even though his performance was kind of bizarre and weird and out there, I honestly enjoyed it. I enjoyed his performances on last season of AGT. The guy's quite the performer, and you never know what he's going to do next. In fact, I honestly think that Prince Poppycock was kind of like the Lady Gaga of AGT last year, because he always had these wacky outfits and stuff like that, and these wacky and wild stage performances. They're always interesting to watch. So, to Mr. Prince Poppycock, you were awesome last night. And yeah, and those are my thoughts on the results of the semifinals round 1 AGT episode. And speaking of that, I will move on to some other stuff that I want to talk about for this vlog. Namely, I recently got into a little game that some of you might know by the name of Sim Social. It's this game on Facebook, and basically a friend of mine on Facebook got me into this game, and I'm glad she did, because it's a really fun game. I'm really enjoying it. I made my own character, named him after myself obviously, and basically made him look like me and designed him to look like me. And I've been working on my house in Sim Social and interacting with the neighbors that I have. So far I only have 2 neighbors on the Sim Social, my friend slash sister Chantal Stock, and my other neighbor by the name of Alex. And yeah, basically I'm going to be having another neighbor on the Sim Social soon. My friend Sam Churchill has agreed to be my neighbor, who's a friend of mine on FB. She said she would add me as her neighbor on Sim Social, so I should have 3 neighbors by tomorrow when I post this vlog. And just before I go on, I'd like to say that I know this vlog is like 2 or 3 days late. I meant to do it on Thursday. I didn't have time to do it on Thursday, and then today when I was at the library I did this vlog, and then when I was reviewing it I noticed that I kind of made some mistakes in it and some things I wanted to change, so I figured I'd redo it tonight on Friday night, even though I won't be able to upload it till sometime Saturday. And yeah, so this vlog is a little bit late. It would have been up sooner. And yeah, so I've really been enjoying the Sim Social game on FB. I'm really gonna be, I'll probably do a vlog showing off my house when I get better decorations and when it's built more and stuff like that, and show you guys my character and stuff like that. Do like a short little vlog or a video that I'll post to my YouTube with that. And yeah, oh yeah, yesterday, by the way, I also got a really nice response to one of my comments. As you guys have noticed, I have top 5 favorite YouTube vloggers box on my page that lists my top 5 YouTube vloggers that are my all-time favorites on YouTube. And number 3 is, of course, a vlogger by the alias of Crazy Kate. And I basically made a comment on her one video saying happy birthday to her sister Cassie, and basically letting Crazy Kate know that she was in my top 5 favorite YouTube vloggers list, and how she was basically in that, I guess you could say. And basically she replied to that comment and said about how it was the greatest one of the best comments she ever got, and really made her day. And she even posted it to her Facebook page, which honestly, it was really nice to know that a compliment I made on a fellow vlogger's video made her day, and that she liked it so much to post it to her Facebook page. So this is of course a shout out to you, Crazy Kate. I love your vlogs. That's why you're on my top 5 favorite YouTube vloggers list on my page. That is now on my page. And yeah, I just figured I'd mention that. It really made me feel good getting a reply to one of my comments like that. I'm really glad she liked the comment. And yeah. Oh yeah, and I've noticed on YouTube that a lot of people have been trying to figure out how do you get that other channels box on your page. You know, that box that a lot of people seem to have on their page on YouTube where you list like other channels that you like or that are your favorites or that you just like going on and stuff like that. And basically how you get that other channels box on your page and is basically there at the top of the YouTube page. There's this little box. There's this little gray box. It says modules. Basically, if you go click on the modules box, there'll be an option in there that says other channels and a checkbox next to it. If you click on that checkbox and check mark it, and then put an X in it, and then you press on save changes, a little box will pop up. The other channels box will pop up on your page, and basically you can click on the edit button on that box, and basically in this box you can list your favorite YouTube channels or just other channels you like or that you frequent quite a bit and you think people should check out and stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. And you can basically list the channels and it shows them there. And the box that was originally called other channels, I of course changed into my top 5 favorite YouTube vloggers box. So if you want to know who my top 5 favorite YouTube vloggers are, that box is on my page, and if you want, check it out. All 5 vloggers in there are vloggers I think I highly recommend you check out. They all do really awesome vlogs. They're all really interesting to watch, especially my top favorite vlogger, Alex. Her vlogs are always interesting to watch. Even the ones well, at least to me, her vlogs are always interesting to watch. Even the ones you wouldn't think would be that interesting are interesting to watch. And I absolutely love her vlogs. She's one of my all-time favorite vloggers and stuff like that. So yeah, what else could I talk about? I guess there's not really much else to talk about. I got my good friend Liz is going to be auditioning for Canada's Got Talent in Toronto next month. Really hope that audition goes good for you, Liz, and that you make it onto the show, because that'd be awesome to say that one of my good friends is on Canada's Got Talent and be able to tell people that. So I hope you make it through with your singing audition. And yeah, of course, this has been another XX Vlogs of Max. I am Max Callan. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It's okay if you didn't. I do try to make them as good as I possibly can, so that they're enjoyable to watch and stuff like that. And I'm sorry this vlog has been delayed. I didn't mean for it to be delayed so long. I just didn't have the chance to do it one day, and I didn't like the way it turned out when I made it earlier, so I figured I'd do it again from, of course, my apartment that I live in with my dad. We get along great together. But yeah, just thought I'd do this little vlog. And like I said before, I am Max Callan. Hope you all are having a great night, considering, well, I guess I should say a great day, because when I post this, when I post this on YouTube, it'll be Saturday, even though I'm making this Friday night, and I'm just about to finish it at around 12:14 a.m. according to the VCR clock. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this double X vlogs of Maxx. Have a great weekend. I'll see you in my next vlog. Not sure when I'm going to be making it, but it'll probably be sometime next week. Anyway, later people.